moment on this conference that I went for in Nairobi, when the South African Minister of Transport stood up in the gathering where there are political parties from all over the world, and he said to me, he said, I want to applaud Liberia because your election was so tight, hotly contested, and President Bouazizi only defeated President Weah less than 30,000 votes. And yet, President Weah conceded. He said, you people should continue that democracy. I was proud. I'm going to say anyway, therefore, President, we have to concede and keep our democracy on the path it is. It's something, of course, I'm proud of, and I'm happy he did that. I will praise him any day for that, because not many Africans can do that. Look, let's stop all these political noise. When people do something good, praise them. He could have stayed in power like other people. Yes, he could have done that. When President Bouazizi,
Brother Prince Sharif, you know, when you talk about waste proliferation, it directly falls in my field of study. It directly falls in my life and career. So, solid waste is improper management. It's a significant issue to cities, significant issue to urbanization, it's a significant issue to both human and animal health. It's a significant issue to flora and fauna, plants and animals, to our environment. You know, it affects every walk of life. You know, unregulated dump site, unregulated garbages everywhere is an issue. You know, that has cascading effect. It has long effect on every walk of life. To be very specific, you beyond the economic impacts, beyond what you see physically, the indirect consequences, long-term consequences of waste has to do with its effect on our respiratory system, like lungs diseases and lungs cancer, as a result of, you know, when you pass on the road, carriage tree, brush tree, and you're inhaling bad smell, it causes some, these are pollutants that causes some, you know, some irritation to the human body. And if the human body cannot respond to that positively, in the long run, it could lead to respiratory defect and lungs cancer and some infection and vector-borne diseases, you know. So cholera, typhoid, diarrhea, malaria, all of these contaminated garbages could leach into the air surface and end up in our groundwater. When enter in our groundwater and we consume that groundwater over time, you know, it leads to those things that were naming, like the diarrhea, typhoid, and some vector-borne diseases and infections. So it's dangerous, even on human health. That was just, I mean, on human health, like I was saying again, it can increase people's ability to born children, birth defect, and communicable diseases, and it's just a dangerous. Water pollution, leaching from decomposing waste, you know, it could contaminate ground and surface water, like I said, air pollution, and it has effect again on climate change. Most of our in Liberia are plastic waste. Plastic is non-biodegradable. Many plastic doesn't expire, it doesn't get rotten. When it enters the air surface, it compromises the soil ability to germinate plants, you know, for plants to grow properly. So the issue about waste proliferation in our country is cross-cutting. It affects all walks of life. And so, unsurprisingly, we see a government who they are responsible in terms of the solid waste management. We see a government that understands nothing about waste management and proper waste handling. You got to handle waste in a way that from the generation, from the storage, from the transportation and disposal, you have to be involved very sustainably. But what we see right before you is an embarrassment. What we see right before you is an accident in waiting. What we see right before you is a health hazard issue right before our eyes, and our government is very careless. They said nothing about it. They just talk. They do nothing, Mr. Prince Sharif. So for me as an environmentalist, for me as a waste specialist, I understand the direct and indirect effect of waste. And so the minister, Mark Jabate, is the minister for urban, assistant minister for urban affairs. This falls directly within his scope. All municipal government authority directly fall under his authority. I want to tell him to elevate the debate from that level. You know, the essence of being in power is to act. You can be in power and you still be complaining. Mark Javates and other were those around here who said they have all of the prescription to the problem. So for him to come and be yelling and trying to vindicate himself, for me, it doesn't solve the problem. It only exposes how weak, how myopic, how short-sighted this government is. The government has no prescription for the issues that are facing the people. West, we already started a process in Cruiseville, Plainfield, because Wellington has overlaid its carrying capacity. And Mayor Morovia, you know, on some other extent of multilateral engagement, he initiated a process, and me from the EPA, but then we were involved into ensuring that you know, a new waste site is being formulated so that waste will be directed there. But this government, they care less. They talk, all they do is just propaganda. To them, leadership is propaganda. Leadership is just about lies. But instead, leadership is just beyond what they think leadership is. You can lie away to power, you cannot lie away to govern. So today, in short, our environment is under threat because all of these polluting, all of these open air defecation on our dump site, leading to air pollution, will affect our climate. And most of these dump sites, see what you can see, some leaching, something like water leaking. These are all methane gases being produced. These methane gases, they can contribute to global warming and land degradation, soil contamination, and loss of you know, the urban characteristic. You know, all urban environment has specific characteristics. This will be lost because our ecosystem will be threatened, and this will lead to plants and animals being killed and loss of biodiversity, and that place will be considered as a dead zone. So in short, it's not healthy, and I hope our government can do better on this.
Thank you so much, Nabudogwa. You know, looking at what is happening in Liberia, especially with the issue of dirt, is becoming very concerning. You know that most of our people, they almost like about maybe one would say 50% or maybe 45% of our population, they depend on, somebody would say, borehole. Most of the time, these people use either some kind of well water or well water in the area there, you know, to cook, to do other stuff. Even right in Mosorado County is challenge, especially when it comes to, you know, pipe-borne water. And to see the way and manner in which these dirt have been abandoned, then it leads me to the question to ask, where is the government, or what is the strategy that the government has in ensuring that these dirts, you know, are properly disposed? Yesterday, I could remember they were talking about the issue. Well, fellow Liberians, home and abroad, it's a privilege again for us to be on here. And we want to use this time to extend our thanks and appreciation to every one of you who continue to remain very supportive to what we do here. We want to say thank you so much. As usual, before we can go ahead, we want to inform you that please help us. And the help that we need from you is to kindly hit for us the share button. Share with friends, share with family members, share with as many persons as you can share with, so that all of us can have a very wonderful time. Thank you so very kindly for joining us. So let's bring you this as we, you know, try to get ready to bring you what we are supposed to bring you. So please, again, hit for us the share button. Share with friends, share with family members, and let's have a good time. I mean, a very good time. Let's have a very wonderful time. Yeah. So welcome to all of you again. We want to say welcome. We appreciate you. As usual, we say thank you so much. Thank you so much. Words are inadequate to express how grateful we are to you for your continuous support. Please cross that bridge for us the share button.
Sometimes you got to think.
Thank you.
You see, our friends, every time, and that's something that here. And I want the children to know. We're not encouraged
So let's
because
finish your
our
point,
children need to be
please.
changed. We are very sympathetic to them, that is good. But we also have to make them learn. They see every time we come to the gathering, they put themselves in group and they call themselves Zogos. They give themselves name, they singing for you to give them cash. We need to stop all this so the children can be serious. So they can be serious. You cannot label yourself and you're doing things that everybody has to be home. You gotta go to your parents. You gotta help yourself. If I will help you to give you money when you see me in the street, that money should go to buying copybook and pen or buying food, not to go buy drinks. So you parents, we have a responsibility to make sure that we don't groom the children into being lazy. You see, my experience leaving Liberia through Cameroon, from Cameroon to Abidjan, Abidjan back to Cameroon, Cameroon to
Welcome to
you.
all of you.
It was not a difficult, it was not a smooth ride. It was very difficult. And this, they all know that in life, you have to struggle. What struggle in life is to prepare yourself. So tomorrow, I remember my first job. I was working at Liberia Telecommunication, $50. Samuel Doe money, like what I was making while I was in the switchboard department. And the only reason I took that job because I wanted to leave the streets. To find something to do. Our children need to leave the streets. They even need to agree to work, to go to school and learn skills and work. We need to encourage them. And you see the children come in tons, 1,500, and they're holding placards and they are recording Zogo. No, these are not Zogos. These are future leaders of our country. We call them Zogo. You understand? Yeah, most of them make mistakes in life, but we have to fight to change that. But to change that themselves, have to make that change. You look at our country that is developed today, you know why? Because all of us decide to make that change with our international partner. Every time we go away, we let our people know that our people need roads, they need free education, they need this, to talk to them. So let us make sure parents advise the children to leave the street. Do not let your child go astray. Don't be tired, because some of us will get some first stage children in our family. I don't care what we do, but you can hold your ear. I grew up with a grandmother. My ear not cut, it will never cut. You understand? I live in the West Ghetto in Liberia, Shaolin. But I am a good man. So Shaolin did not take me away. When I went to Shaolin all the time, one day I decided I'm not going to Shaolin anymore. You know what I did? Now I tried to change the Shaolin. I remember I joined the CID. Then the street man became the officer to arrest those people that to Shaolin. So that's my experience. Marijuana, I was on record in Gibraltar, in that church. I was the arresting officer of marijuana because I knew that marijuana was bad. So I was the one that arrested the opium from the church in Gibraltar when I was working as an informer and carrying bash. Because I wanted to clean that community. If I didn't want to clean the community, I wanted to say, well, no problem, we'll do it. So sometimes you can change, because I knew the right thing was to make sure that if that marijuana get into our community, most of our young children will be spoiled. So you see, from the substance abuser to the cop. And today I'm standing here as your president. Don't you want to be president of Liberia? Eh? You don't want to be president? You don't want to be a lawmaker? You don't want to be successful? But then you need to stop what you're doing. To be successful, you need to be prepared, and you need to exert yourself. You need to do the right thing. No one does the wrong thing and they are successful. And if they did the wrong thing, it will not be long. So, going forward from here, please. We saw your drama, we heard it. Don't let your friend fool you again. The Jamaica Z, you just name it. Let me look at our retina now. Jamaica Z, Edna, the Coos, all the one and everything that pass. We're in a new year. And this new year, you must change for good. And the only reason you're going to change for is for your own reason, for your own good, not for none of us. We'll be proud of you when you change, because we'll say, see, that person one time will help them. That's government responsibility to help you. But for you to be successful, it's left with you. So, our friends and family, what you're doing today, no one will be bold to tell you that they bent through it. All of us that live in the ghetto, we have done that. We have done that. I want to place in or center to be restrained, no. But I did all that. Today, because I refuse for that to take over me, today I'm standing here. I was the best footballer in the world. You understand? So, living substance will make you achieve your goal. So don't promise us. Never promise us. Promise yourself. Because you promise us that you will change. That's not a change because you live in us. We are not together. Promise yourself that I am quitting. And that's the way you survive. But if you tell us that I'm quitting and you turn your back and go right back to that society, trust me. And the worst thing you do to lie to yourself. So you got to mean it, you got to believe it, and you got to do it.
So, fellow Liberians, home and abroad, again, we want to say welcome to each and every one of you. We appreciate your presence here, and it's a privilege for us to have you here. As usual, we want to say hit for us the share button, and let's all have a very wonderful time today as we discuss. The issue of the Guinean and Liberian border is an issue that you cannot overlook. We should not overlook. There are too many things happening in Liberia. Before we start on this, you witness this video. You know, a leader that will take his or her own time to talk to her people, to use their own life story and explain why people must live a good life. That identical leader is a treasure that one should never, ever keep away from them. Any leader that takes his or her time to use their own life as an example, to encourage their people, to be able to tell their follower about how to make a better life, that person should always be around you, because their story helped to challenge and encourage so many. Yesterday we had a leader in His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah, who was never afraid to use his story and explain to Liberians, who was never afraid to use his past to tell Liberians of how they can be successful. The video that I just played you is President Weah speaking to the disadvantaged youth in Liberia. You know, one thing I will continue to say to you Liberians, President Weah is a God sent for us as a nation and a people. He was never afraid to go in the ghetto and explain his story. He was never afraid to associate with people who society classified as outcasts, to explain his story to them and say, look, if I, George Manuel Weah, if I can change, you can also change. If today I can become the president of the Republic of Liberia, despite of the challenges that I had coming up as a young man, you can also be. He encouraged the young generation. Today, we have a government that is only interested in making the young people to sing behind them and to be what we refer to as praise singers and how you call beg balls. The current government of Joseph Numa Boyka do not see the value in these young people. They use them as a political instrument to get to where they wanted to get. Now that they are there, they have turned their back on these young people. Now that they are there, they are telling you, the young people, that you are not qualified. Yesterday, President Weah invited those young people and said, look, come, let's sit on the table and let's reason together. This is not the kind of life that you should be living. You know, President Weah understand the population, knowing very well that majority of our population, about 70% of our population, they are all young people. President Weah knows very well that when the young people are empowered, when the young people are encouraged, when the young people are given skills, when the young people are focused, the nation will succeed. This is the reason why President Weah did not play politics with the situation of the young people. No, he did not. President Weah did not play politics with the issue of drugs abuse that our children were faced with. Look, listen to this. Listen to this. Let's bring this back just for a bit. Listen here.
The username, let me look at our retina now. The Mega Z, Eggnog, the Cools, all the one that everything pass within a new year. And this new year, you must change for good. And the only reason you're going to change for is for your own reason, for your own good, not for none of us. We'll be proud of you when you change, because we'll say, see, that person one time will help them. That's government responsibility to help you. But for you to be successful, it's left with you. So, our friends and family, what you're doing today, no one will be bold to tell you that they've been through it. All of us that live in the ghetto, we have done that.
You hear President Weah using his story to encourage these young people that we are not extra human. We are not people that fell from the sky down and we become who we are today. We went through all of these things, but we did not allow it to define us. Using his story to encourage young people to be the leader that they ought to be. Today, you have an octogenarian who don't even care about the young people. They use these young people as a medium to get to power. They lie to you. They make you to go against someone who cared about you, someone who was so concerned about you. They say, oh, the man was dancing buka. But he was dancing buka, but he was using his ability to talk to his people, to tell them the reason why they should change. Today, you have somebody who, according to you, is not dancing buka, but guess what? He has forsaken you. He has turned his back on you. He's abusing you, using your resources and abusing you at the same time. Fellow Liberians, 2029 is tomorrow. 2029 is tomorrow. We cannot afford to miss that opportunity. Having said that, I want to say welcome to each and every one of you. Clement Wright, that's my own brother right here. I want to say you are welcome. Thank you so much. Melvin C., you are welcome. Jamel, thank you so much for joining us. I want to say welcome to all of you. I appreciate all of you. Philip, thank you so much for your presence here. Philip Nangwe, we appreciate you. Thank you so very kindly. Thank you for your presence here. I mean, all of you who are joining us, I want to say thanks. Derry, how are you, sir? Thank you so much. Wookie, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us, Wookie. We do appreciate you. Thank you so very kindly. We say thank you again. Hit for us the share button and let's begin our today's discussion. The issue that is obtaining between Liberia and that of Guinea at the border is concerning. And the reason why we must talk about this is because the memories of the war is still fresh on the minds of our people. Our people have not recovered from the scars. Somebody will say 14. Me, I say more than 14 years of civil unrest. We know the role that nation like Guinea played in our civil war. So when anything that has to do with tension between Liberia and Guinea, it makes us to sit and think and we get afraid. The LURD today, we are talking about LURD. They had a base right in Guinea. Right in Guinea. Right in Guinea. And we know the onslaught that was leached upon our people by some evil men who used Guinea as a base. We know that. So our people are not stupid to take their loads and put it on their head and leave from that location. They are not fools. They are not. We all understand how significant our relationship is with Guinea at this point in time. But it is unfortunate that this particular government of Joseph Numa Boyka cannot even assure the people of Liberia of safety, of their security. We will read the statement that the government of Liberia was able to put out. It's one of the most disgracing statements that a government will ever put out. I will read it. We'll take our own time, we'll read it. You know, in the midst of this kind of calamity, uncertainty, ambiguity, confusion, it is when the government is supposed to speak with every level of certainty and give the people hope and restore hope to the people. You know, we told you from day one, look, these guys use lies. They deceive our people, told our people that, oh, you don't worry, we are in charge, we can do it. From the very beginning, His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh, we are one Liberian, and say, no, these people are a bunch of liars. The only thing they want is to take over power and enrich themselves. They do not care about you. No, they don't care. Your priority is not this government concern. They are not concerned about your priority. No. These buggers are concerned about themselves. When they sit down to look at the 12 years of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, that some of them had the opportunity to work, those things that they could not accumulate as a wealth, those places that they could not build, those things that they could not fulfill, they see this particular time now as a place, as a time, as a reason to steal from the Liberian people. 6 years is like 6 days. Look at today. The government took over. We are now approaching the 4 years of this government. Because when you are in 3, where you going? At 4, right? Can you point to anything tangible that this government has been able to deliver for the people of Liberia? In any sector for that matter? Any sector. Can you? No, don't get mad at me. Hold on, my brother, my sister. Hold on. Since this government took over, what can you point to as an achievement from the arrest agenda? What? Let us look at the low-hanging fruits. Let's not go far, please. So let's look at prices of basic commodities on the Liberian market. Let's look at the price of a bag of rice. Under His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh, we bought rice for $12 in that country. We bought rice for $14 in that country. What has changed? What has changed? Under His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh, yesterday, we bought gas for 800, 700 plus. What has changed? No, what has changed? You see, one thing about our brothers on the other side, they do not have a story to tell us or a success story to say. So you know what happened? Whenever you ask them about their tangible, they run straight to President Weah. But and that President Weah were there. And that President Weah were there. No, you don't compare yourself with President Weah. Remember now, you've been there for 12 years. We are talking about 18 years you've been in power for. Because you're 6 years. So when I'm listening to my brothers, when I'm listening to some of my family members from the end of the opposition, when you ask them about what has Joseph Newman Boyka presented to the people, they say, oh, but President Weah, then I can just tell and deduce that these people, they've not come to better the people's life. They've come to better their pockets and their bank accounts. No serious government at this time will still be talking about the previous government, especially when the previous government laid a very good framework for you in terms of infrastructure development, in terms of human resource capacity building, and etc., etc. Joseph Newman Boyka government is a disgrace to the Liberian people. Look at what is happening in Guinea. The government put up a statement, and we are going to be looking at that statement. I don't want you to believe me. We take our own time, read that statement, and we analyze it. A government that cannot even provide any tangible information to the people. Is that too a government? No. Is that too a government? No. This is the statement that was put up by the government. And what a disgrace. And we'll go to it. Don't worry. We'll go to it. We take our own time and analyze it. We're not running. Nobody running behind. We're running behind nobody. We take our own time. Why is she supposed to be here for some kind of less time? But we take our own time and read the statement and give you the statement. So this is the statement from the government of Liberia relative to what is happening in the country between Liberia and Guinea. And let's analyze it. Let us look at it critically. The statement from the government. It's a press release. Government of Liberia. And we'll read this statement. We'll take our own time and read it and analyze it. Fellow Liberian, we'll analyze it. At this time, we want to use this time to welcome our own brother Jake. Brother Jake, how are you, sir?
Okay, brother. Thank you. And to the followers, as usual, they'll have to share the video. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So before we go to this particular statement, my brother, I just want you to have your take on this. We're listening to a video that His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah was using his story, the challenges he faced coming up as a young man in Liberia, to encourage these disadvantaged youth. He was telling them that, look, all hope is not lost.
Mhm.
These things that you are doing, I did it before. I'm not a perfect human being. I'm not an angel. I was able to achieve what I achieved because I sat down and said, this is not the route that I'm supposed to take. And you listening to it, he was encouraging these young people that, look, today I'm a president. You can also be president. He said, don't think that we are angels here. We ourselves, we took that thing here. And he told them how he even took opium. But later on, he saw that it would not help him. And he decided to change. He also told the Liberian people that, look, these children are not Zogos. Let's stop calling them Zogos. They are our future leaders. Let us give them things to do that will enable them for the future. When they come singing around us, we should not use them as a medium to amuse ourselves, but we should encourage them to go to school. Use the money, give it to them, let them be able to clean their system, and don't take advantage of them. Today, my brother Jake, what we are seeing is this government officials taking advantage of these people, lying to them, and at the end of the day, turning their back on them. One of the key things that caused this government to have at least a very good percentage of the young people vote was because they said their priority would be the young people. And the young people, some of them voted. Some of them walked in the rainwater in dangerous areas. Today, my brother, they have turned their back on these young people. They've turned their backs on these young people. I want to hear from you, my brother, in the next maybe 1-2 minutes or so. What do you make of that particular video of President Weah using his life story to encourage these young people? Let's hear from you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. And once again, to the followers, you please have to share our video. Sharing is free. Prince Neole, we played that video before over and over here on this platform concerning George Weah. In life, you never limit yourself. In life, you never limit yourself, no matter where you come from. The sky can be your limit. It left with you. George Weah know where he came from. He came from Gibraltar. He do a lot of things. He's so battle. He came from the trenches like some of us today. But it never defined him. So he became president. He told the Liberian people, said, don't never limit yourself. You can be anything you want to. You can achieve anything you want to. Common example, I broke glass ceilings around the world today. Leave my football career today. I'm sitting here as president of this Republic of Liberia. So nobody will limit you. You see, they just business. Friends, let's be real to the Liberian people. The phrase Zoko, the Zoko phrase from the United Party government. Let me remind followers here. Zoko, that's Z-O-G-O. Who phrase it? At the United Party, they load down on these people. You know what they believe? They believe those that were taking these substances and other things, they're not nothing in society. So they have that particular phrase. It means you must beg them. So you know they cajole the Liberian people. Prince, I told you, the people came to power through gibberish and lies and propaganda. 5 to 6 good years, they spread that lies and nobody to combat them. They had the whole social media network, machinery, the whole all of them. Today we see now all our lies they paraded in the corridor of Liberia, outside of Liberia. Today they shame, nothing working. The drugs were fighting. You can still remember in the Jeremiah Kun vice president Prince Joseph, they got on the podium in Nima County, telling Liberian people that Joe brought drugs in the country. But honor that, not knowing, honor that wash, honor that pressing wash. Just have engulfed the nation more than before. Even the president downplayed the drugs business. They were just parading in our country about drugs awareness. It's still rampant. The borders are weak. Our borders lands are weak. They were the drugs will come. They were drinking the drugs within this country. Pinning CDC a lot of time. But we're seeing the result now. So that Zoko phrase, they came from the United Party. They phrase that word Zoko today to load down on people. But Liberian people never had the ego, they never had the vision. So they call the business of the society. They fall for that last. And then today we're seeing it now. I told you, Prince, I've been splacking this thing. We're at a crossroad. Serious crossroad in every form. Hardship. I'm telling Liberian people, they 2026 to 2027, the Liberian people must fasten a seatbelt. The Unity Party can never deliver. They can never, they lie. Listen, preaching propaganda and ruling the country are two different things. Now they're in power. That propaganda cannot work. We're talking about reality. Imagine that there are few people on social media combating them. During that era, during that time, the social media were far. You see over 1,000 podcasts all around the world. They unleash a lot of lies and propaganda. Today, the reality exists now. The FUMO, but Prince, the United Party cannot deliver. They cannot develop. They are the most corrupt government. Honor Ellen Johnson said it. That means hey, her government was noted for the corruption. The international community, she had huge corruption. She sell it, herself sell it. She failed in education. And her government was more corrupt. Imagine today, the Junior Samuel Twain got to come to power before the harmonize our country. And today, since the harmonization, what they can carry on, the country is broke. Please, when I tell you the country is broke, you're not joking. The country, United Party that turn around, nothing working for them. So the Zoko, that phrase, it came from the United Party. It's not easy. The country is tough. More drugs are engulfed the nation. You would never believe it. A lot of women in the drugs business now. More girls. Most of our girls are taking drugs now.
Wow.
And alcohol also. Alcohol are one of the biggest substance that Liberian people don't talk about. It engulfed the whole country. Nobody drink. No young Liberian girl drinking soft drink anymore. Nobody drink soft drink in the country anymore. Nobody's no surgery. If you get surgery, it will just be on your counter. Alcohol engulfed the nation that Liberian people don't talk about. It's a touching topic. So the phrase Zoko came from the United Party.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. You know, it's heartbreaking to have a leader that cannot even talk to his people. Yesterday, he said speech, but today, when last you saw Joseph Nyamakweka organizing program, and even talking to these young people. But again, this is where we find ourselves. All we can do is to educate our people. Yesterday, we had a man who was willing to talk to his people, who was willing to use his life as an example that others can see to encourage our children. Today, no, you don't have them. They are too big to even stay in front of these people. They are too big to organize program for these people and talk to them. They play politics with people's life. But it is what it is. My brother, we are not going to cease talking about this issue because it's of national concern. This issue between Liberia and Guinea at the Silombe Bolo in Lofa County. The last time the government of Liberia said we have formed a diplomatic team, we are going to Guinea to go and discuss with our counterpart. When Joseph Numa Boyka went to Guinea, he was delayed for almost 3 hours. Dumbuya told him, no, unfortunately, I can't see you now. You will have to wait for me to finish with my fast before I can talk to you. Other than that, we can't have any discussion. They had to get somewhere for Joseph Numa Boyka to sit and wait for Dumbuya. A man who sent for you, the man told you to come. That's why we can always tell people that, look, Joseph Numa Boyka has become an embarrassment, not to only us as Liberians, but to even Africa and his counterpart. When somebody sent for you, the man who sent for you, he didn't know that you were fasting. The man sent for you. He didn't know that you were fasting. He didn't know president was coming. But Dumbuya was able to allow Joseph Numa Boyka to sit somewhere for almost 2 hours. At the end of the day, Joseph Numa Boyka, Dumbuya, and Manda Bio, they said they had a meeting. And there was a communique that was signed. My brother, at the end of the day, the government starts to celebrate. Oh, we understand diplomacy. We are too mature. Hey, we are mature government. Hey, we went to Guinea. Hey. Out of a sudden, in fact, it did not even take 24 hours when Joseph Numa Boyka went to Guinea. While you were coming back, Dumbuya was telling the men, say, you reinforce that area. You reinforce that place. You go there. With helicopter, or you put helicopter all in the air. The first one you can't know, but this time, helicopter will be in the air. War plane will be in the air. But Jake, these were the people who boast of diplomacy, that they understand diplomatic environment and languages around here. They said Joseph Numa Boyka is a seasoned politician and a seasoned diplomat. But my brother Jake, what happened? The men go to the plane, not even made 24 hours. The Guinea men get there, they send their people to the place. This time around, we in fact more heavy weaponry. Put helicopter on the air. The first one, they tell Joseph Numa Boyka, ain't go there. We not see helicopter in the air. But the men went there now. The men put war plane in the air right away. Jake, what is going on with this particular government, Joseph Numa Boyka, La, and etc.? What is happening, my brother? Why you know? You know, before you come in, my brother, you make a staggering revelation. And that video, I saved in that video when you appear with Abraham Godson Will. And some of the things you can say here, you always say 2029 is not going to come. And you can always say that. I'm not saying the normal 2029 will not appear, Liberian. I'm not saying that. I keep in that video. At the appropriate time, we play. You say, and I tell you, I say 2029 will not appear. For that year called 2029, it will not come. You made it clear on King's FM on several occasions you appear here. My brother Jay, why you know that we don't know? What are you seeing that we are not seeing? Because
Well, let me say something here. I will tell Liberians here. You see, they say prophet not respected in their own home. I will say on the platform, I said it before, people that know me, they know me. The former president, I'm a whistleblower for my country. I will never tell nobody in the world where my sources coming from. Majority of the thing I predicted, it happened. Let me relay something here to the Liberian people what they don't know about Dumuya. You know what's Dumuya? Joya had a relationship with the old man that Dumuya replaced, Conti. Let me tell you today, go to video. Dumuya loved George Weah. I just telling you now. Conti, a George Weah godfather in the West African region. George Weah had four persons. Let me break it down to the father was here. Because like when people got it, but they don't read. They have another man singing God that our labor replaced, Macky Sall, former president, Conti, George Weah godfather. And Conti brought his son Dumuya. Dumuya can never respect. Let me pick the picture here quick. When George Weah was ruling, Dumuya overthrew. Go to video. George Weah criticized Dumuya during ECOWAS time that we don't need military coup.
Yep.
Why Dumuya never accused on it? Why Dumuya? Because let me pin the picture to Liberian people. Dumuya know who George Weah were affiliating himself with. George Weah had connection with the Biden administration. Then he had connection with Israel. Benjamin, the prime minister, person. So anytime in the West African region, anybody could come to George Weah aid. Anybody. Israel was one of the most powerful countries that were in bed with the former president. He visited Tel Aviv many occasions. He took one of the Israeli top award in a particular country where they don't just give it to common people. The videos are there. You must do your own findings. We would come on the platform, we'll tell you, we don't preach propaganda. We will relay video because the man that we support, the man was president of the country. So we compare everything. Now, while we cannot preach propaganda, during that time, they were in the wind to come, so they spread gibberish and lies. So that while we're nailing them today, and the debate, I can always say the debate is over. It's just a matter of time. It will not crumble the country. It will not crumble that particular country because the greatest fear of the Unity Party, sorry to all other political leaders in our country, they are dead on arrival. That reality. George Weah is the last man standing to that country. That's why the Unity Party feared. So they would do anything in their will for him to not come back to power. If the will of the people, George Weah will win with landslide, heavy landslide. But if they start, I believe they were playing a lot of things to turn our country around to a military. That's my greatest fear. I always say this is my greatest predation, political predation, for the military and the security apparatus. They must never damage our peace. To say they will turn power over, they will try to seize the country through military rule. If you see the way they're proceeding, the president is not in control, Liberian people. George Weah godfather's Conti, and who brought Dumuya to the country, Conti, to quell down on protests. He was in the French army, or you can call it gendarmerie, all Libya in Europe at that time. He went on some peace mission there. And during that time in Guinea, nobody the old man could look up to because the old man was feeble. He was 80-some more years. Conti was 80-some more years. He called Dumuya for a tribe man to say, come and quell down protests. After Dumuya quelled down a lot of protests in the country with his surrogate, they staged that fake coup. The coup in Guinea was staged. Nobody died. Dumuya paraded. They arrested the old man. showcase video to the international community. And Doumbouya came to power. The old man left the country, went to exile for a time for medical checkup. After some time, he returned to the country. And how Doumbouya staged that coup in his surrogate. Today, Doumbouya seized power. And today, we have an election. Doumbouya won the election, according to people. But the personal person, Doumbouya can never respect the unity. He can never respect the unity party. They're not in line with the unity party. Even during early time, Conti couldn't stay Ellen Johnson Sally of the unity party. Never. If we're now about the wish hunt and the story of that election today, we're on a different path. Let me tell you, my biggest fear, I told you people, there are two things I don't talk about. So we're going to get loyalists to protect him in every form. The level of the unity party, they will do anything possible to get rid of the president. Now, why I say president will never embark on a country tour. Let him remain with his security. He must put on high life. Loyalists for a tribe man and those that he know long time. He shouldn't be going to places in that country. No, none of that. None of that. He shouldn't be announcing a whereabouts. I will say another thing here today again. A church, always go to the Forkliquan church. He must buffer his security to that church. He must buffer his security. I will always preach about the president's security. Nobody must take it lightly. Sedition. We are ashamed. Those that surround the president. That's the only man standing. And the Unity Party knows it. That Surrogate, that all of them knows it. Nobody. Gongro will be 73, 74 years old. Edizana coming 2029, 74 years old. Who dare? Who dare that can beat George Weah to the ballot box? Who dare? You're facing reality, Liberian people. The man fingerprint all in the country, all over the country. That reality since 1847. The July 26th will make 179 years old since independence. Your lead taught me. They ruled the country for 20 some more years. They had an open door policy. You never saw that hand mark. Liberia never had rules, nothing. The country was never connected. Everybody was in Monrovia at that time. Talk about king, talk about try a little bit. But presently, morning time, nobody can match Georgia fingerprint in the country. That reality. They know it. The Unity Party know it. That why everybody destroying them concerning projects. Since they came to power, almost 2 years plus now. Next month will be April. We'll come in the rainy season, Liberians. What the Unity Party will show us. The rainy season will take toll on our country before you go low in 4 years. At 2027, the clock is ticking. The Unity Party, no money coming in the country. They have traveled, nothing working for the country. I told y'all from the initial stage, they have been blackballed. The Unity Party, I'm a whistleblower telling y'all billions of dollars sitting all outside for Liberia. They will never get that money. They will never get that money because they have been blackballed. And they say they were smart. So they say they were smart all in the corridor of Washington, D.C. Joe, we get people to high places. I don't want to call someone their name. They can never infiltrate it. That's just time. I want to always tell sedition they should protect the president. He shouldn't embark on county tour. Now he win the election. Now time to go tell county people your thank you. No. They stole an election in Nima County. Prince Willie Johnson, he played the damage in our country. The election was stolen. The help of Malcolm McCarthy, Liberians in Martin, American ambassador, was on the NEC board. Fact check anything I'm saying here. Malcolm McCarthy, former ambassador, American ambassador to Liberia. How can an American ambassador be on the NEC with Malala Brown, came from the wing of the Unity Party? So the whole election, Amara Kone really know the real story. That war room they were in it, Amara Kone were crying with crocodile tears. I challenge Amara Kone. He knows deeply that they never won an election. He knows it, Liberians. Who won the first? This is my question I will asking you people. Who won the first round of the election? He never had a 50 plus, but who won the first round of the election? Any country, modern country, any country that when you win the first round, the second round will be easy for you. Imagine the man won the first round. It's the second round that where they do that daily job. Breaking in numbers, stealing ballot boxes, all in Nima County, flipping different things. Imagine George Weah win majority, some of the higher vote in Lofa County. Joseph Boakai real Prince Johnson did a daily job because of greed, propaganda, lies. Because Prince Johnson never knew the Liberian constitution, Liberian people. Imagine all the years he was in that Senate, he never read the Liberian constitution. So he believed a lot of time the videos are there. He brought Jeremiah Kum because he knew that the old man was feeble. He had a pacemaker. That's something when you pacemaker is something that you put in your heart because you don't have the normal heartbeat. You put something in your heart to regulate your heart because you don't have the normal heartbeat. But people like people call it battery, call it pacemaker. So Prince Johnson was thinking, oh, Joseph Boakai have battery. So I will bring Jeremiah Kum. Then Nima will be in control. Kum will be in control. No, our constitution clause is different. Even the president in Cuomo, the vice president can never replace the president until the president dies. Or the country impeach the president, the legislature, the first branch of government. That's the clause of our constitution, the 1986 constitution. Boakai can be in Cuomo for 2-3 years. Which year? You can never move the president. If you travel out of the country for 2-3 years, you get as in leading, you replace, says you will be in charge until I come back. That person will be in charge. No part of our constitutions tell you until death. And another clause in the constitution that Liberian people never knew. I remember vividly when CDC took power. Oh, when Ellen Johnson said it to justice, I went to Jamaican Root. I told the president, it's not possible. As any constitutional lawyer, you can never bring former president of the Republic of Liberia. You can never bring him to justice. Former president, it's not in our constitution. And I America, I don't know the framework of our constitution. Why they put it in 1986? I don't know. All those are the framework of that constitution, 1986 constitution. I don't know what they were thinking at that time. No part of the war. Why Georgia never brought Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to justice. And this Unity Party will never bring Georgia to justice no matter what. Until the legislature amend new law in the constitution. The framework never said so. The part of God read the Liberian constitution. So a lot of people can say, oh, we'll bring Georgia to justice, we'll bring Ellen. No. Even Boakai leave power tomorrow. If they don't amend that constitution, you can never bring Boakai to justice concerning the 4-year mansion. Never. You can never break into justice, a reality. A lot of people don't know it. That the facts in our constitution, a lot of things in our constitution that damn it, that very, very dangerous. That constitution that we are bound by, the law of the land. No, a lot of things inside until they are made new law. Another thing that battle in the country. Corporate tax is too high. You imagine the European Union. I flagged that into the former president before. Investors then wanted to come to the country at that time. I remember vividly I traveled with the president out of Europe, Qatar, other places. Investors wanted to come to the country. Liberia had 25% corporate tax, while the European Union get 21%. So other places, I think America get 19 now or 20%. But the whole European Union get 21%. How can somebody leave 21% with safety, with security? They come to pay 25% corporate tax. Where 100% security is not in the land. Electricity is one of the biggest challenges ever in our history, in modern history. You think they will come open a multi-million-dollar company? They start using generator? Our climate condition to allow investors in the country is radical. A heavy radical is difficult. Investors from different part of the country have tried to come to the country.
You know, thank you, my brother Jay. You know, what you are explaining is really is dangerous. It's terrible. Because these were things that you said earlier. And today, what we are seeing is just the reality. Imagine this government took over and cannot even boast of any serious breakthrough that they've made.
They have been blackballed. I said they have been blackballed.
Made. They can't even boast of any serious investment.
Baking your man. The Unity Party has been blackballed. And they don't know what they call blackball. They must ask some people. They have asked here, I'm a whistleblower. They have been blackballed. They can never make it.
And today, this is just what we are seeing. But what besides with this issue of the Guinean and the Liberian border? The government of Liberia put out a speech. You know, usually when these things are happening, when the government speaks, it means
yeah, I think Prince in the Prince is there. But let me say something quick before Queen come. Okay, go ahead.
Usually when the government speaks, it should be a sign of encouragement for our people, especially in this kind of difficult period that they find themselves in with this issue of Guinea. Like I was saying earlier, the minds of the people are still fresh from the womb of the war. These people experience fresh hand of calamity. We know where the Lord came from. One of the areas that they were heavily camped in was in Guinea. I am not saying that it was the Guinea government that gave them the permission or whatever, but we all know that Lord, they came from Guinea. A very vast majority.
Yeah, the support, yeah.
It came from Guinea. To see this kind of thing happening, it reawakens the wound of the people. When they see the kind of, a terror that was rained on them, or that were rained on them from the Lord, is concerning. And today, this kind of activities is going, even the speech or the press release from the government is even horrible. And I want to read it for our people here as we analyze it. We have the press release. I'm going to read it, fellow Liberian, and I want us to, all look at it. Again, I'm sorry because There are too many activities here. Uh, we are doing different things here. So please just bear with us. Now, here is the press. Here's the press statement from the government. It said press release, government of Liberia provides update on the situation at the Lofa Guinea border. According to the press release here, we're going to take our own time to read it. Say the government of Liberia wishes to inform the public that the situation along the Liberian-Guinea border in Lofa County remains under close attention and is being addressed with the utmost priority. I want us to look at this first statement here. The government of Liberia wishes to inform the public that the situation along the Liberian-Guinea border remains under close attention and is being addressed with utmost priority. Is this thing true that the government is really looking at this particular thing with priority, or they attach priority to it? If these people had attached priority to what is happening in Guinea, will we reach this level? Because from the very onset, when the machine of the BK enterprise, they were seized, they were not just taking over there and just taking into Guinea. There was a sign when these people seized it, according to the information that we gather from people who were on the ground. When the machine was seized, because it was alleged that these people were mining minerals and etc. At the end of the day, if it was a serious priority, it was something that government decided, look, this thing is a priority, they were immediately going to use the rightful authority to be able to engage the Guinean government. But rather, Francis Akila Nyimale, who is one of the owner of the BK enterprise, the chief of staff, and all these other people, they decided to do a low-far way to go there. And don't even believe what we are saying. But that statement is from those who were part of the trip. And let me play you, who got a video here. I'm going to play the video.
Nothing have been returned to Liberia. So 8 to 10 soldiers crossed the river and of course seized those materials. Some of those machines, enterprise company were involved in that.
Let's listen to this.
The pavement of Foya Street have started and all started about getting sand from the river, this river. And of course, when the company, the BK Enterprise company, were involved to excavate the sand from the river downway, and there was a time, it was a time when the soldiers, about 8 to 10 soldiers, crossed the river and of course seized those materials. Some of those machines were being seized and haven't been retrieved as we speak. So
some of them have not been retrieved.
Not even some of them. All those material that was seized at the time, nothing have been returned to Liberia. So there was a time when the minister came, Minister Yubali, and of course the local county superintendent, Labla Masakwe, and all the local delegates came right here and sat here and after discussion with the one minister, and we had a discussion with the governor for Guinea, the Kisi governor for Guinea, and of course the Kigedu governor. They discussed the whole day, and they said they're going to get back to the higher authority in Guinea, and they'll come back to give briefing. The authority in Liberia did not get a briefing as it was promised by these governors. So the minister decided to come back with a reinforcement, and that reinforcement comprises of the chief of staff, the assistant minister for Bureau of Correction, the Minister of Justice, Gabriel Nupla, and and several other officials from.
Now, my brother Jake, the government is telling us that they attach utmost priority to this particular event that is happening. They are, in other words, they take this very, very serious. Their entire attention is being placed on this. But when it happened from the initial, the foreign affairs minister that is supposed to be the face of Liberia on the international scene, that is supposed to engage this situation, did not even make move. Guinea enter on Liberia's side, whether the water for the water is not for. Guinea enter there, seize materials that belongs to a Liberian company that is. Let even leave Francis Akila Nyamale for 1 minute. Let put him on the side. But a company that is legally operating in Liberia, a company that is legally operating in Liberia, paying taxes to the Liberian government, residing in Liberia, property was seized by another country, by Guinea. The foreign affairs minister, who should have been on the trip, was left behind. Francis Akila Nyamale, chief of staff, and 1 or 2 people, they went there to go and discuss. My brother Jake, if this is a priority according to what the government is saying here, do you think that they were going to take that kind of Nicodemus approach by leaving out the foreign affairs minister who is charged with the responsibility of engaging other government representing the president? How did Sakila Nyamale, chief of staff, become now the foreign affairs minister to go and address situation of such? My brother, what do you think of this?
When you buy you the sugar code, eh? Prince, you the sugar code, eh? Followers, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You will remember my video then in tomorrow when the real time comes. You think they appoint 50 Lofian in the government by accident? You think they won't give power? Prince, if a serious country now, Nimanes will be impeached today. The Lofian causing war. Then it's a Lofian company. Let me tell you today, your brother Tomu Fala, all in our company, it's also Lofian, Fana minister, other than that company. Before you say register to who register for on what? Braga company, the president company where sorry get. You man are the prime minister of the country, you know? Where? Let me say this today. I will call it raw because you're the sugar coat that the last Liberian people love. Your love sugar coat, your love reality. Pray, Lord, take this video, you must take this small clip. And they say, do a trouble or Nima country. You don't see no trouble people here. The Lofian, they want the most troubleless country in our country. They will never want to relinquish power. Let me tell you, I'll tell you this beyond Bwaka. When a 4-year mansion for, when the law they say that man and river union, that's a hard hope that the era Bwaka will go to in 2029 to relax if you get long life. Let me tell you, this are playing for that all the security apparatus, all of them, the finance minister, all the money in the country belong to them. Look at the shaker and mover of the country. Prince, we're on a time bomb. I just telling you. It will be on Nilo before CDC come to power. When they start calculating by 2027. Let me tell you today, the way they're taking the country to be the higher will take it to be. And the country will go to war. Let me say it to the platform here. If the Unity Party will put the country to war, they will never relent. The Unity Party govern the country. They govern the country. Let me tell you today. You know what made Dumuya angry? He said Dumuya angry because you know why you saying Liberia? The machete. Listen to me, Prince. That machete, the guns in our display when the Guinea crossed the border. Eh? You know what blessed Liberia? Prince Liberia and follower, you know what blessed us today? We're not fighting war. We saw thousands of people parading with machete, collars, our guns, guns there. They're going to kill 1 or 2 Guineans. You're going to see that whole, Dumbuya will see that whole place. Dumbuya already know Liberia, violent country. Let me tell you today, he knows it. He knows the history of our country. He knows it. Dumbuya was small during Charles Taylor time. When I unleash that so-called civil war. Nothing. But who supported you remove Kene? You Alaji Kroma you Nemo. Who supported them? The same Guineans. The Guinean leaders at that time. Dumbuya was small. At that time, they know the history of our, they know the, you think what Dumbuya Marching said, he know the violent nature of our country now. We experience civil war. He's a military guy. You know who's supplying them with arms? Let me tell you, like people that lesser people, Russia. He in bed with Russia. He in bed with communist China. He's in bed with Iran. Fact check anything I say Iran, there are a lot of companies in Guinea. The Iranians, top people, the Russian, the Chinese. Do I even care for the Western world anymore? He get powerful allies there. Turkey in bed with him. What about Joseph Baga taking comfort for the newly gun you saw with the police? From Turkey. If anything start, Turkey will stop. Turkey will never give a weapon. How can Turkey is an Islamic country, a Muslim country will get Liberian? The people, the ally we get, in case anything happen, the ally we get are Israel. And who Israel in bed with George we are? America in bed with George we are. Let me break that down for Liberian people here. Infantino, the FIFA president, get the ear of Donald J. Trump. Let me tell you, Liberian people don't read all these things, but can get one connection with the unit with the Trump administration. I just telling you, he lied to the Trump administration, telling the government, you can say remember perfectly Liberian. He said we discover new mineral. America can't survey the land.
Yeah.
Now knowing he engaged the old man lied. He engaged the Chinese already. The Chinese expert the king. Then he went in the Oval Office and lied. Say, oh, how can you put local hair together?
Especially international people. I mean,
listen,
world power.
The thing while I bring people, novice they don't want to know about because today the people voted in, they want downplay America. How you downplay America? Trump, let me tell you something. Trump were going to Trump were planning to go to China.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Trump were planning this next month, April, to go to China. He trying to postpone the trip to China because you know what going on in Iran? Iran was in bed with the communist China. All 95% of that oil come from that place there. Go to China. America destroying it. America, let me tell you that serious thing going on. America captured Venezuela. It's another oil depot for them. Venezuela not in bed with Trump. Iran, he crumbling Iran, no matter how you want to watch it. I don't care. No matter how you want to look at it, they destroy the whole Iran with a communist China. It's a global war order going on. Your side is your side. Liberia side is our side, America. So, Dumbuya threatening Liberia, anything can happen. So what our government need to do? Engage our international partner. Engage Israel. Engage America, what you know. Engage Great Britain, what you know. The European Union, they don't even have the connection. Dumbuya is radical and priest. Let me tell you today, everybody must write about story. He's a radical guy. They're building a military because he get great own power. They are building a military. Highest, even for, I don't think Dumaya will even relinquish power just now. You're watching and see it. The man, he came from a military background. He ran that election. Nobody challenged him. He cracked down on all the opposition. He came to power. Dumaya is in early 40s. Early 40s. He can rule that country for another more 20 years. Let me tell you today. So he don't respect our country. If the country was serious, the last election will impeach Nimane. Nimane need to be impeached. That whole why they suspended that company? Why the government made that statement? They said they suspend them for now. It's that whole company began to Lofien. Because of that greed, they want drag Liberia to war. But let me ask you, what I'm saying come from the Bailey 4-year mansion from I see water. That's it.
Sure. Yeah. Where it come from. So imagine you talking about Guinea. You talking about Guinea. We're talking about Guinea here, right? We're talking about Guinea. The people budget alone, it almost, we're talking about 500. In fact, it's 535 million. Their military budget. 500.
How much our military budget?
Guinea, let's go to Liberia and see.
And they say we got $1.8 billion. 1.2 billion. They projected 1.2 billion. That I told you all, like budgets of they call it. It's an audio budget. It's audio budget. Gafan hijack it. Gafan hijack that budget. It can represent nothing. Nothing it can represent. We don't even get food to eat. We spent what $300 million Liberian to import for goods and services.
It's estimated at 33 million. 33 million. That is Liberia's military budget.
Praise. You know what? Yeah. You know, I would say the Liberians. Now I would say to Liberians. Let me say this. Prince, you know the Civil War. You said something. Prince, if George Weah come back to power, everybody in the Republic, we are 5 million plus. From the age of 17, you must be enlisted in the military. You must do military training in Israel. We need military training. You got to be in the military, but you must train for 6 months. It must be compulsory. We are plenty here that he coming to pass. I told you we get the weakest bowler in the West African region. We need to go to our international partners then to build on our military capability. We don't have Navy. We don't have nothing. We are lame dog. Anybody can try us.
You know, my brother, before I forget about this, talking about the military.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the opportunity to talk to 1 or 2 persons. And I've been thinking about, I want to say it since you bring this in. And I was in conversation with this person. It's a high-ranking military officer. I mean, very high-ranking military officer. Now, yeah, so we're chatting, and I said, but why is it that the military is a kind of bit laying back on this whole thing? You know, they are not kind of forceful. And this is what this person told me. I put it on my page yesterday. The person said, Prince, do you think that the military, we are just a bunch of foolish people that are saying now, when somebody can say jump, we say hi. So I say, I don't understand. You got to tell me. Don't speak in code. Be frank to me. And I say, Prince, while it is true that we know that it is our responsibility to defend this country, but we will not go defending Francis Sakila Nyamale ambition. We will not go defending a company's ambition. He said right now, within the military, there's a high-ranking military officer telling me this thing here. He said right now in the military, we are not excited. He said we are not fools to just go jump and just go because we want to certify individual. No. He said we are not for an individual, we are for the country. Not even for the president, but for the nation. We
Mhm.
serve governments. We don't serve individual. We serve president. We serve the country. The man said we had a meeting. According to what he told me, he said there was a meeting held to deploy the first batch. There are commanders in the military now who are not satisfied because when the thing happened at first, they collected the chief of staff. They carried him there. The guy said, Prince, the guy said, listen, that what they did. The first time when this thing happened, when Guinean crossed over, they came to the Liberian side, they did this and did that. Guess what happened? They collected the chief of staff because Joseph Newman brought our nephew to go speak on behalf of the company. They left us behind. He said, by right, the first time when Guinean crossed the border to come to Liberia and seize material that belongs to us, at the place the army is supposed to be deployed immediately. He said we went there first, but again, some of our commander, the way we saw them, how we retrieve. You know, the army went there first. The army went there first. They went. The guy said we went, but when we got the story of what was happening, that's how we say, look, they think when they want to do what they want to do, they want to march or let them go march or they think they now war for us. It's not something for us to get involved with. The man took a material, used it on this particular thing that he was doing something different. So we will not allow ourselves to be used. He said, how they left from there. He said, that's how they left from there. And he told me a story. He said, Prince, you know of the AFL officer who was almost like a son to the chief of staff that got missing? He said, you know of that story? You heard that story? I said, yeah. He said, okay. He said, Prince, I'm going to, like you always say, he said, I'm going to bust your bubbles. He said, do you know that Peking? Or almost like his son. I said, yeah, I know. The chief of staff even said, you know, the ball got missing. He said, a boy got missing.
Hmm.
He said, the ball didn't get missing. He said, the zero that man. That Peking used to go and receive the chief of staff point. I think you understand what, you know, I want you to put in some code. He said,
Yeah, yeah.
that Peking used to go and receive the chief of staff point. He used to go to somebody mine and, you know, the gay, whatever, that go give it to him. He said that Peking, he went on some kind of error and people gave him something. He did not report it to the chief of staff. He said he did not report it. That was what got the chief of staff angry. He said that Peking was beaten before he was even sent to the hospital there, the military hospital. So he was severely beaten. He said there was some nuggets that were given to him to give to the chief of staff. The Peking duped the chief of staff. So he did not give it. All that he's supposed to give, he did not give it. Look, he explained some things to me. The guy made me, I got cold. If you look on my page, this is what I wrote after that yesterday. I come in. Let me go to the place so that our people can see. This is it. Even though I didn't put it in quotation, I just put it in my own word. But this is what I said on the page. Let me see. Where is it? Just a minute on that page. Okay, so my other page. Let me go there. Let me remind Liberian so that they will see it. After we go through talk, I just wrote that thing on the page and decided to just, you know, leave it there. Where is it? Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, fine. Oh, my people. Sorry. Okay, so the other.
Why you asking a question? Let me ask you one question. The defense
Yes, sir.
minister, that female, what country is she from?
Geraldine George will be from the southeastern side, out of Grand Crew, I say. Yeah. She's a cool girl.
Wait,
Out of Sano or from Grand Crew.
wait.
Yeah.
To you think the military divided?
Yeah.
Heavily divided? Okay, put numbers on it, put percentage on it.
My brother, the
Mhm.
military is divided. The military is divided.
No, when I
There are
said
people who
divided,
believe that
when
they
you
will
said
not be
divided,
used.
really divided
My
into
brother,
heavily divided.
the military is divided. How I can tell you, the military is divided. Oh, people, I get this thing here. I put this thing somewhere. Let me look for it here. Let me see. I don't know why I'm not getting this. I think the military is divided. It's seriously divided. Very seriously divided. Don't even how you call doubt it. Very heavily seriously divided.
Okay, another
So
question because you from the security side. Another question, quick. When
very heavily.
Zenga when Zenga was defense minister
Mm,
under George Weah, and Quincy Johnson was the chief of staff,
uh-huh.
who were following the military at that
Fuller
time?
was just one of those officers, who was there.
He
Yeah,
was
Fuller,
something, he was major or general, he was something.
I think he was a major or captain or so. But I didn't really follow his service,
Okay.
but he was in the military. Yeah. Where I put this thing? He was in the military.
Prince, you know what made me Prince, you know what made me scared? I'll
Nice.
always say this,
Hmm.
Prince,
Yes, sir.
we are Liberians and followers. We've been in Africa, we all African. We have seen your real history of country.
Okay, fine. That's good.
You have
Yes.
real history of country. I just want to post a question to my followers in there. If I make sense, you must say the truth here. We're talking about Africa. We're not talking about the Western world. Liberians.
So, Jake,
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
Let me
Yeah,
just read
display
this.
before
Where
I
is
go
it?
to that point. Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
do it
it.
now.
I have it right here, and I want to read it for our people. When I did this post here, I want to read it here for our people. After speaking to that particular guy, after the conversation, I say I will write this so it can serve as a kind of reminder for me that I can be able to at least say something about it. This is what I said. This is the post. Let me just share it with our people here. This is the post. Let me see. Okay, I will share it right here with our people. Fine, that's good. Here is the post right here. My people, you see this post here? This is the post. I said the Liberian military role does not include protecting individual interests or illegal sand mining companies. Mr. Boyka and his nephew should manage their issues with Guinea through appropriate channel. Then I gave an example. I said the Sierra Leone soldiers during the 1990s war of Liberia would say, I know they die, and I know they can't die for a bastard picking. When this guy told me this entire story, I'm like, wow, he revealed so many things to me. He said, Prince, we know what is going on in the military. He said the first thing is this particular Joseph Numa Boyka nephew, they have denied us of our benefits. He said, you can remember we had a protest? He said, you can remember we had a protest? The military women, they had a protest. That protest was intended to give us some better life. Up to now, it's worse. They keep us in perpetual silence. We are quiet. Because we say military, we can't talk, we can't get involved into this. But they continue to suppress us. And we can't talk. We are military people. We can't talk. Our women are feeling the weight. Our children are feeling it. There is no real care given to us as military people. Those things that we were promised, the light that we were seeing. He said, Prince, honor the president. We are regime. We started to see the light. We saw President Weah building facility for our women to give them skills. We're in
Mm-hmm.
conversation to improve our living standard. He said, I will not lie to you, Prince. I'm not telling you that all was rosy under President Weah, but we saw the tangible things that were happening. We saw them building schools for our children. They were improving those facilities at the Vera barracks. He said, we're getting there. But he said, now, Ejele to say we're retrogressing. The people, he said, now, this is a higher up in the military. He said, Prince, now Ejele Boyka, they're treating us. He said, they just treating us as some kind of private security. How they treating us. He said, but we are military, we can't talk. There are things we can say out there. He said, we can say I will just suck it in and something. He said, you think they contact? We were contacted, but the commandant there said, no, they were not. They can't go down there with empty hand. They can't go down there leaving their family. Why it is true that yes, we are supposed to defend the integrity of the country, but this thing here, Princess Akira Animal Company, he go dig go in the people play, they seize the property, they instead others go free the property. So these things, my brother, it speaks volume of where we are as a nation. That's why when you ask me about the military, and I'm telling you, yes, the military is seriously divided. Seriously divided, my brother. It's very seriously divided. Nobody should tell you that things are rosy. There are some things that I will not say, and there are some things that I will say. But the military is heavily, heavily divided. Heavily divided. Yeah, it is.
Prince, let me say,
for people who going down for Francis Akila Nimale or Joseph Nima Boyka Company. No, that's not part of their responsibility. You remember the CAFL were accused when they were doing road construction where Costa and King, they say, oh, and the military digging gold, the digging diamond, the military truck. You can remember. So Prince, we in a country where we are human beings too. Nobody will not use us for person. We are not private security. No, we are national security.
Prince, let me say something. I will ask you a question. I will remind the followers here. When I tell you, Liberia is on a time bomb. By 2029, that election period follows. Let me, before I pose a question to Prince and the followers here, your help to share this video. Let me say something. In Africa, Liberians, followers, let's take our political hat. Let's be patriotic. We are Liberians. We pledge allegiance to our country. Disagree or your alignment, your political alignment, everybody have that side, one way or the other. But let's be independent for now. No bias here. We shouldn't be biased. Then I hear the need to the place. Liberians. On George Weah. You have Zianga, the army, the defense minister. You have Prissy Johnson, the chief of staff of the military. This is baffling me. This is a troubling time. Liberians, you're listening. Over 300 EPS was sacked by the Unity Party. They called in George Weah EPS. Now knowing people, someone were even treating Honor Ellen Johnson Selly, new taxpayer money, but they sacked them. Liberians, and today these people heavily trained. They're all roaming the country. They never get a due benefit. 300. They silent, they quiet, they wait in the wind. There is my question. Prissy Johnson made one of the famous statements in the Republic of Liberia that George Weah, they notice it, but they chunk it under the carpet. I remember vividly, Liberians and followers, when George Weah went to Qatar during the World Cup to watch some or FIFA invited him, and the Qatarian leader invited him. He stayed longer time, over months. Prissy Johnson had an interview. He came on radio station, chief of staff of our country at that time. He said he got damaging report. A lot of people saying text messages. He get out recalling messages for him to overthrow the government. Prince, I will come, the question coming to you. I will overthrow the government. They were telling messages that because Georgia was still in London, he should seize power. Because, and I believe the Unity Party at that time, because they never believed they would win the election. So they wanted for everybody to lose. So they decided for Prince Johnson to seize power. But as professional Prince Johnson was, he never implemented that thing. He and Zangane never implemented it to put Liberia into in that military form. But when the president came back to Qatar, president of the republic, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, real nation, there was someone the chief of staff to his mansion. They said, but I heard you play text messages. Who are these people that say, give me their phone? They were arresting Johnson, disrobing, and see the court law. And who are these players that say you must overthrow me? But the CDC, the president, because of he just put it on he just cover it up, put it under the rug. Prince, yes, my question. When Baka came to power, when the United Party came to power, Prince Johnson, the first appointment, Liberians, the men that served under Georgia are chief of staff, and Zanga was the defense minister. A government that they take over, another group king. They rethink, they wanted to make him to be defense minister at that time. But when the military protest, the women protested, they withdraw a member, they withdraw something. Today, who is Prince Johnson? Is the NSA boss? Who is the former chief of staff? Zianka is part of the military, part of the security apparatus. He's still working with the United Party. Yep. So my question I'm asking the followers here now. When I say I come here. Are these guys were plenty within the CDC? And today they reward them because any government that take power, the defense minister will never be working. The chief of staff will never be working. They will bring new group of people. Imagine the whole executive branch of government and new people, new ministers. Georgia had government, government inclusion. But why Zianga, all these people, Bramu Samuka, former defense minister, all of them advisor to the president's security. All of them advisor to the president's security. The whole security apparatus. Two legends. I know they are professionals. That when I always pray in Liberia, the military shouldn't take part in our democracy. Let it flow. They must never take part. Who win election, they win election. It happen on Ellen. It happen on George. They shouldn't, if Baka giving chance because Baka be 86 years old, he will be feeble. If Jeremiah couldn't believe he can win George where, or Baka believe he can win George where, let we go to the ballot box. But if they would try to hijack it, I think said the military split. So that's my fear, Prince. Why now? This is my question to you. Are these guys were plenty within the CDC and today they're getting that reward?
My brother, the fact of the matter is that these people have their allegiance pledged to their political institution, that is the Unity Party, and not to Liberia, the other way around, it's supposed to be. These people, they look at the Unity Party to be that particular institution that they must protect.
Okay.
Even if you take these people and call them and say, you know what, can't be a son to President Weah, they still owe allegiance to them, to the Unity Party.
But Prince, any military will be professional?
Definitely, it's supposed to be professional. But unfortunately, it is not. The police also, for example, supposed to be professional and independent. But look at what is happening. They have now become a gangster group that is willing to implement Joseph Newman Boyka agenda.
Okay,
So,
Prince.
the matter is
I'll
that these people,
put you on the spot. I'll ask you a lot of questions because you come from the line of security. If you finish flowing, I want to ask you a few questions before we can close the podcast. If you flow, I will ask you questions. So now you will be on the hot seat. I will ask you a few questions.
okay.
Okay, Prince, listen. I know why I'm driving out. Follow us. On the United Party, the defense minister, our Bramu Samuka, who was Prince C. Johnson and who was younger during Ellen Johnson Sirleaf time. You have any clue?
Yes, Zianga, he was the chief of staff of the armed forces of Liberia.
Honor Bramu Samuka.
Honor, how you call yeah, Bramu Samuka, yeah.
Yeah, Bramu Samuka was defense minister, Honor Ellen. Then his younger was the chief of staff. Now, who was Prince C. Johnson at Jean Ellington? Prince, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, man.
Okay. He says Zianga was the chief of staff on Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Eh?
Yes, Zianga. Yes, Zianga was the chief of staff, the military chief of staff. Honor, how you call Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Yeah.
Now, who was Prince C. Johnson on Ellen at that time?
And Prince Charles Johnson later, when how you call sorry.
Okay, maybe then Prince. There is a question. When George Watt took the mantle on authority, how he maintained Zianga as a defense minister that served on Ellen as a chief of staff. How this happened? Who recommended Zianga to the president? Followers. I'm asking question. You know why I'm driving at? I'm driving the question because, and I tell you every time, if the security apparatus of our country, if the professional and players are listening to our country, and there's nothing for us to worry about. But when the players are listening to a political party, and what we see, I fear for 2029. Followers, you will keep my video then one day. That's my own fear. Because where we come from a long road. You know, I always see people in our society, they will be craving for military rule. Yeah. I can be sorry for my nation when they say, oh yeah, because they see what happened in Burkina Faso, Mali, and other places. The player will come from now, Liberians, a violent country like Liberia, heavily violent country that experienced Liberian civil war. We don't need military rule. We need peace. We need peace, total peace. And the way our life going should be calm. Nobody, parents, we experience civil war. That we shouldn't go back to these dark days. Military, not military. Let the peace process continue. Who win election, we go to the ballot box, they win election. Who the Liberian people in favor? If your work speaks for itself, they vote you back in. That's how we should continue for the next generation of Liberians. Because what I'm saying, the new generation of Liberians, they never experienced the Liberian Civil War. They never. First of all, I can be looking at people.
Yeah, Jake, we have a caller here. I want us to take this caller.
Okay.
Sorry, but I want us to take
go
this
ahead.
caller. Yeah, hello, caller, your name and where you've joined us from. Welcome.
Yeah. CMC. Yeah. Oh, right on the stove. On the ground. Yeah. Yeah. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hi, Prince. Yeah. This is Emmanuel Payne calling from New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm following the show and very interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So right now, Prince, for me, this is about international situation between Liberia and Guinea. And although I want to domestic dispute, but this time around, I cannot stay here as a Liberian and see another country trying to infringe on my country. Since this situation broke up between Liberia and Guinea, I've been worried over it. I've been shedding tears because the way in which our country is behaving, the people are been vulnerable to the Guineans, the border, and what have you. So all those things, it worries from us who love our country, who have interest in our country. So I try to put one or two pieces together. For me, I'll be honest with anybody, I keep in my country. I don't think any Liberian would be very stupid to just go and start to drill on the soil of Guinea. Although both countries share border. But my point is, change the border, they understand that, oh, Guinea maybe Guinea understand because you know the president of Guinea right now. We don't know the restriction the international community put on him, on a country like the city and the chancellor. Although he had election recently, he won the election, but how he took office, which as a so that man right now he had no support from international community. So now you understand at the center of Liberian border have resources. So for my belief, after each of the thing that's to be able to get money, settle things and be able to support himself and government. Things that are happening in Liberia during the Civil War. So I'm in our country on Chancellor regime of Chancellor elected, but you also recognize by international community. But you can see what happened to Chancellor. You are selling the logs, and then you are selling a log, and then secondly you are getting money to treat the log and get money support a fashion and government. So for me, I put one or two pieces together. I think it's the same thing that our Guinean president trying to do with Liberia. But I was telling we shouldn't encourage Liberian to back up. We should encourage Liberian to stay their ground because that country and surely believe that push out the border it belongs to us and we have to fight for our country, we have to fight for our piece of land. That's how I call it give my impact.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My brother Jake, you hear this, let's just refer to you so that we can get your closing.
The man said we were all Liberians, so if we know the nature of the case, we finish the information ministry release a press release telling you that it's not about Liberia in Guinea. In particular, it's about company that went infiltrated in Guinea, that why the government suspended the company. So there's some followers now. You got to ask a question and he say, first of all, we're not prepared for war right now. So we don't have the capability to fight anybody right now. We don't even feed ourselves. We're struggling for money already. Then Guinea already having heavy population in us, first of all. So the only thing we can discuss, the government can discuss peace. He went to Guinea. So for me, nobody fighting for nobody. If that money, money they want to do things concerning Liberia, concerning their own greed, why Liberian people get involved? And nobody will get involved. The president knows what he's doing. So the president knows. So they left with him. When Guinea on purpose come and attack Liberia, They will say yes. For we hear about minerals, saying all these things are going on.
Yeah.
We got nothing to fry in this thing here. We got nothing to fry inside. The government will set it up. The government get minister, they get this and that. We get here to flex it to the Liberian people. We don't really, first of all, they're not clear. They were not clear from the beginning. But like now they really press release. Now we know or Lofian company involved with the situation, the minister, the full, all of them involved.
Sure.
So what we got to do things are happening in Lofa County. Yeah, it's happening right in the buyer of Lofa County. So if there's something, Guinea will just come and attack or what equally make statement. Yeah, so they know what they're doing now, Prince. So that follower, that person that asked that question, you can just get use. Yeah, he asked a good question now. So that
Thank you so much, my brother Jake. I want to say thank you. Thanks to the many listeners from around the globe for taking up the time to be with us. I want to say thank you, those of you who share, those of you who we appreciate all of you. In a special way, I want to say thanks to those of you who send in your comments. Nina Kuya, you are welcome. Thank you so very kindly. Frank, we appreciate you. Emmanuel, thank you for the call, and all of you, Anthony. So until we meet again, hopefully by tomorrow. God bless you all. Have yourself
yes,
a wonderful.
okay,
Bye.
Papa.
We want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money, that I beg the money should be used to bless our people. Thank you and God bless.